Hi there, thank you so much again for joining me on this channel. As always, I'm very grateful for all your previous views, likes, subscriptions and shares. Welcome once more to a cold, crumbling basement, and I thought we would celebrate International Women's Day by looking at some religious pioneers. There are tons of influential women out there in the world of religion. As always, we shall go through in alphabetical order of the religions to give parity of esteem. In Buddhism, we have the remarkable Dhamma Mananda Bhukini Dr. Chatsumara Kabil Singh. Dhamma Mananda is a combination of two words. Dharma, which is the teachings of the Buddha, and Mananda, which basically means to be a disciple of the Buddha. And a Bhukini is a female nun in Buddhism, being part of the Sangha or the community. She was born in Thailand. Both of her parents were Buddhists. Her mother herself was a Bhukini. Her father was a great encourager to her. He strongly felt that the Buddhist female system should be revived once more in Thailand. Not only did she receive great instruction from her folks, she also has a BA in philosophy, a master's in religion, and her PhD was all about Buddhism. Today, she is the most senior monk at the Songdharma Kalyani Monastery in Thailand. It is still one of only about 20 female monasteries in the country. And as she said in an interview, she simply wants to provide a place for all women to come to practice and to feel at home. Of course, there have been challenges and setbacks along the way. One meditation centre for women was attacked by arsonists. I think there's much to be inspired here by some words of wisdom. She says, "I do not choose to be ordained because I want people to recognize me. I did it because I want to carry on the heritage of the Lord Buddha." It reinforces, does it not, how the teachings of Buddhism are for everybody. For Christianity, we're the Right Reverend Libby Lane, the current Bishop of Derby, a pioneer for being the first female bishop in the Church of England. She's no stranger to breaking glass ceilings. She became a vicar in the Church of England in 1994. That was the first year when women were allowed to be ordained as priests. 20 years later, it was announced that she was to become the Bishop of Stockport, the first woman bishop. It was such a big event that the then Prime Minister, David Cameron, simply called the moment historic. I was really drawn to this quote from the bishop where she says, "Whatever the church's failings, I really think this is where God has put me." It's a reminder, I feel, that whenever you have a religious organisation, or indeed any organisation, it's built around people, and people of course have their own flaws, disagreements, arguments and so forth. For Hinduism, we can have a brief look at Dr. Vandana Shiva, a scientist and environmental activist. Born in India, her father was very concerned about preserving forests and her mother loved the natural world and was a farmer. Dr. Shiva's university education encompassed physics and philosophy of science. However, she's really come to fame for her work on environmental issues. She was one of the first to make connections between climate change, stewardship of the earth, social and economic inequality, bioethics, and just showing how they're all linked together. Dr. Shiva is also particularly concerned about the use of genetically modified grains and concerned about the impact that they might have in terms of particularly biodiversity. I was really drawn to this quote where she says, "Those least responsible for climate change are worst affected by it." In other words, the big polluters tend to be those rich developed nations. But of course, with climate change, it's those developing nations, the most vulnerable, who pay the higher price. It's a challenge that faces all of humanity, no matter what your beliefs are. Our religious pioneer for Islam is Nadiya Hussain. She came to prominence after winning the 6th series of the Great British Bake Off. What was really lovely about her winning the competition is that she's basically self-taught. She learned some basic skills at school, but then at home she used recipe books and YouTube to help hone her skills. She has become a well-known personality on television. hosting programs like Nadiya's British Food Adventure and popping up regularly on The One Show. Nadiya has spoken a great deal about her own well-being, how her anxiety is something that she continues to manage to this day, and that's been hugely influential in terms of helping to break down barriers, having conversations about mental health. For Remembrance Day or Armistice Day, she also helped promote a poppy scarf. It was really important to show that Muslim soldiers fought in World War I, and also helped to encourage those in the British Muslim community to wear a poppy. I was really struck by this quote where she says, "I understand the importance of being a brown Muslim woman of faith who is in the public eye, because there aren't that many of us. Representation matters," and Nadiya is more than aware of that, and she clearly takes her responsibility as a role model very seriously indeed. Judaism, we have Miriam Lorie. She is the first woman in the UK to be appointed to undergo rabbi training in an Orthodox community. She is currently training at the Yeshiva Maharat in New York, United States of America. Yeshiva means college or school. Maharat is a female leader of spirituality, Jewish law and the Torah. The school was set up in 2009 and was the first school to actually ordain women to be rabbis in the Orthodox community. Miriam is currently undergoing her training. Miriam says this, that she is fortunate to live at a time when women can become rabbis in Orthodox communities, and look forward to watching the positive ripples that will have on the Jewish world and individuals, whatever their gender. It's really exciting to hear how passionate she is about her journey on becoming a rabbi, and I'm looking forward to seeing when she's finally ordained and seeing how her work continues, and hopefully that's something we can revisit here on the channel. For Sikhi, we have Bhagwant Kaur, who is a primary school teacher. We love a movie on this channel, and Bhagwant Kaur has basically created a movie about a very famous Sikhi woman from the past. The movie is called Supreme Motherhood, The Journey of Mata Sahib Kaur. She was the wife of the Sikh guru, Guru Gobind Singh. He was a leader in the city of Delhi in India, and she was really concerned with social justice, and the movie focuses on her life. Originally, Bhagwant Kaur was a screenwriter on the project, but then she ended up being assistant director, actually flying out to Mumbai and working on everything from the dubbing to music and storyboards. Bhagwant says this, in the Indian Punjabi community there is a lot of traditionalist thought that favours boys, so we think that it is really important to show a female in a position of leadership and to help girls become confident. We want to break the stigma that girls are bad. I think what really strikes me about Bhagwant's words here is how she wanted to break down stereotypes. It's also a reminder about the power of cinema as an art form. However you mark International Women's Day, I do hope that it goes well for you, and I do hope this video has been of some use. As always, if you are able to and would like to, please do like, comment and subscribe. And until I see you next time, enjoy your learning.